Hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here with a quick video. We're back on our Series 2 3800 motor in our 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix. I just solved an issue I had with intermittent stalling by replacing the mass airflow sensor, and there's a video for that. But while I was here, I figured, well, let's go ahead and change some other components because they're also high mileage. This car has about 190,000 kilometers, which is, I guess, equivalent to like 120,000 miles or so. And so when I was initially diagnosing it, I replaced the idle air control motor to see if that would fix anything. The problem is I replaced it with a car that actually had 288,000 kilometers on it, under the assumption that it probably worked. Tough to say if it did or not, but it didn't change anything, so this probably wasn't the issue and ended up not being. But I figured, well, both of these are high mileage units. Let's go ahead and replace it with a brand new one, because where I bought my parts for, might as well just put them in there and take care of it. So with mine is a little broken, and what I mean by that is initially when I changed this idle air, or at least looked at it, I broke the screw in this hole here. So I ended up actually having to drill all the way through and putting in a small bolt to hold the idle air control motor in, which is fine. It works great, but yours should probably just have a screw on it. I'm using technically they're a safety screw or a security screw. Mine, however, just happens to have that drilled out because I didn't have any of these at the time. But swapping it, obviously, as I've been talking, is easy. Just undo the two screws, wiggle it out, and you'll see that there's an O-ring here and the piston. Now this is all nice and clean because, like I said, this is out of a car with a lot more miles on it, but I cleaned it before I put it back in. But you never know if it's going to run as good or better than a new one. Maybe it's going to run worse than a new one. Tough to say. So I bought a Delphi unit. They come in a variety of flavors. And so it comes with this red gasket that we're going to just lay right there. And just make sure the plug's pointed in the right direction. It should be just a matter of wiggling it back in, and there you go. There's a new one. Like, the installation of this sensor is not that difficult. But it's one of those, you really have to have a reason to replace it. So in my regard, I'm not really doing anything. I'm not improving the performance, but maybe down the road I'm improving reliability. Where this old one may fail down the road, this is a brand new one. It hopefully won't fail. So switching it is just this easy. Unscrew it and then screw it in tight again, and that's that. Plug it back in. My car didn't set a code for it, so I'm not anticipating any sort of having to clear anything. The button plugs in a little harder, but there we go. So now I have a new idle air control motor. Before you go anywhere though, we're probably going to want to start it up and double check to see what's going on. So clearly the car starts okay. In fact, it started creepily fast actually. I think one compression stroke and she was on her way. So that's awesome. And now that one's been replaced. And that's how you would control the idle air control on your car. And like I said, you're going to do it because of poor idling conditions. That thing gets old. It's causing your car to stall at idle. It's mostly an idle issue. If you can control it with the throttle plate, then it's probably not the idle air control motor that's giving you problems. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you have any comments, leave those too. The next video following this one, we're actually going to change ignition coils because that's another one of those. Probably replace it now before things start going bad type thing. Thank you guys, and you have a good day.